Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Jeff and welcome to my fitness tips. Welcome to this video about push-ups. Hopefully by the end of this video you're going to learn one or two things to help you do a push-up more effectively and more efficiently to help you get stronger. Alright, let's get into it and start talking about 3 tips that can help improve the quality of your push-up. Tip number 1, you want to keep your back straight and a tight core as you're doing your push-ups. Now one of the amazing things about push-ups is that it's a great exercise not just for your chest, shoulders, and arms, but it's also great to strengthen your core, your abs, your lower back, and also your glutes a little bit. But if you tent and keep your bum in the air, or you sag and have your bum close to the ground, you're not going to work your core as effectively. And in fact, if you sag and have your bum close to the ground, you might even hurt your lower back as you're doing this. So avoid that, keep your back straight. Especially as you're pushing yourself up, you don't want to do shoulders first and then your bum will follow. Rather, you want to push yourself up like one solid unit. Alright, tip number 2 is that you want to place your hands directly under your shoulders. Now there are a few exceptions to this rule for people who want to do very specific tricep exercises. They might move their hands back a little bit, or if you want to do very specific shoulder exercises, you can move your hands forward. But for the most of us, we want to do push-ups as effectively and with the greatest range of motion that we can. And so this is important for us to keep our hands directly underneath our shoulders. Tip number 3 is you want to do a full range of motion. Now, if you take nothing else away from this video, remember this: quality over quantity. It's more important to do quality push-ups than to do 100 that are bad quality. Now, what the most important point here is to get a full range of motion. Keep your head up so that your head down doesn't hit the ground and prevent you from getting all the way down. Have your chest touch the floor, and then push yourself up until your arms are almost straight. You don't have to lock your elbows, but make sure your arms are almost straight. Those are the 3 tips for doing quality push-ups. Number 1, keep your back straight and your core tight. Number 2, have your hands directly under your shoulders. And number 3, make sure that you use the full range of motion. Alright, let's talk about the variations that you can do with the different hand widths. Now the normal push-up is for your hands to be a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. If you want to focus more on chest and shoulders, however, you can do wide hands and do push-ups that way. Now it limits your range of motion a little bit, and it'll be a little bit easier for you because it's working more of your chest and shoulder muscles, which are stronger than your triceps. Now alternatively, you can use narrow hands, and this will focus the exercise more on your triceps, which is the back of your arm muscle. If you want to get a good variety, however, and do a little bit of both, then have your hands in the normal position a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Alright, let's talk about easier and tougher variations of doing a push-up. If push-ups are a little bit tough for you, or you're not sure if you're doing them properly, you can start by doing push-ups on your knees. Start in the regular push-up position, and then rest your knees on the floor, bring in your feet up in the air, and you can cross your ankles if it helps you. This is a great way to start to make sure that you're doing the push-up in the proper form. You can make sure that you're getting the full range of motion, that you're keeping your back tight, and that your core is being strengthened as you're doing this. And then you can progress your way from there to push-ups with your feet on the ground instead of your knees. If this is a little bit easy for you and you want to do push-ups in a harder way, you can try elevating your feet. If you have a set of stairs beside you, you can put your feet on the stairs, or you can put them on a chair or a bench. Either way, but if you elevate your feet, you're putting more pressure on your hands and your chest, and that'll give them a little bit better of a workout. Alright, let's talk about a few variations that you can use in order to spice your push-ups up a little bit. Number 1 is mountaineers. Mountaineers are when, as you're doing a push-up, you bring one of your legs, your knee, up as high as you can and do the push-up as your knee is raised close to your shoulder. You don't want to touch your knee to the ground, but it should be just off the ground as you're pushing yourself down. Alternate legs one at a time. Now this is good for a couple of reasons. First of all, it gives your core even more of a workout. So you'll be working your abs and your hip flexors even more as you're doing the push-ups. Second of all, because it's tougher, you're going to elevate your heart rate this way. So if you're short for time and you don't have a very long workout, you can get a little bit of cardio in as well as strength training when you're doing these mountaineers. All right, variation number 2 is as you push yourself down, do hand raises. Now this helps you because of 2 main reasons. Number 1, it forces you to use a full range of motion. You're letting yourself down to the ground completely, and as your chest rests on the ground, you want to raise your hands just a little bit. The second reason why it helps, other than the range of motion, is because as you're raising your hands, you're squeezing your shoulder blades and your back together. Now this is an important motion that can be missed out on if you don't feel it and you don't do it properly. This helps work your back muscles as you're doing your push-ups. So feel your shoulder blades squeezing together, and this is the proper motion that you should be feeling as you're pushing yourself down. Variation number 3 is leg lifts as you're doing your push-ups. What you want to do is in the push-up position, as your hands are straight, lift one leg up and keep it straight, and then do a push-up. Alternate legs, putting that leg down and the next leg up, and you can alternate legs that way. What this does is it also helps work your core muscles, but instead of your hip flexors and your abs, this works everything on your backside, so your lower back and your glutes and your hamstrings. That's what this variation does. It helps you work your core muscles, but your backside as you do them. So these are 3 great variations that you can incorporate into your workout as you go along. Thanks for listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned 1 or 2 things that can help you improve the quality of your push-ups and help you work out more effectively and more efficiently. If you want more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel and also join the conversation by following me on Instagram or on our Facebook group. There's always people looking for advice and looking for support. You can join that community also to help ask for advice, give advice to others, and support one another. Thank you so much for listening again. We will see you in the next video.